Thank you so much for this introduction, Excellencies, esteemed guests, ladies and gentlemen. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Namaskar. It's really a pleasure to be here with you all this afternoon. And as we reflect on a remarkable few days that has been spent here in the UAE, in our lovely capital, with many insightful discussions about profound contributions of the Indian diaspora worldwide, and especially here in the UAE. I'm sure the sessions have showcased the vast influence of this community across businesses, science, cultural, and humanitarian efforts, and highlighting the creativity, the collaborations, the vision that will shape its future and drive new achievements. We have heard how artificial intelligence is reshaping industries and how the lessons of Silicon Valley are fueling India's venture capital landscape, and how technology is really transforming healthcare, and how India's rich history and philosophy are inspiring the next generation of leaders. There is no doubt that India and its global diaspora are at the forefront of the new economy, and here at the United Arab Emirates continues to benefit from this dynamism, just as we have since our earliest days as a nation. Today, more than 3.5 million Indian nationals call the UAE their home. They have established over 4,360 companies across diverse sectors, from real estate to retail and manufacturing to media. And many of our most impressive entrepreneurial success stories have been shaped by Indian business leaders who moved to the UAE, some starting from scratch and building thriving enterprises from the ground up. The Indian business community here plays a vital role in championing the UAE as a gateway for regional and international growth, and many opportunities has been there, and ensuring seamless flow of products, capital, and ideas between our two nations, as well as between us and many other countries. That is why when we launched our Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement, CEPA program, India was the first country we approached. Our goal was to deepen the trade ties between the two nations with key high growth markets around the world. Markets that share our commitments to open, liberalized trade based on mutual benefit and common interest. India was not just a natural choice for CEPA, it was the obvious choice for our first. The fact that we concluded the free trade deal in just 88 days reflected our shared belief that closer economic alignment would bring broad-based inclusive growth for both nations. And the UAE-India CEPA was signed nearly 3 years ago now. And now, with almost 3 years of trade data, we can confidently say that the decision was the right one. In 2024, our bilateral non-oil trade reached record levels. In fact, trade between our nations grew by almost 20.5% compared to our numbers in 2023. And this is more than 10 times the global trade growth average. Today, the UAE receives more than 8% of India's total outbound goods, making us a key market for Indian businesses and exporters. And we have also seen an increase in strategic investments, from integrated food parks to vital ports infrastructure. Our nations are laying the foundation for long-term and sustainable growth. The Indian diaspora have been a key driving force behind these achievements and identifying opportunities, building networks, and accelerating progress. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, the theme of this closing session, "The Sky is the Limit. We can do anything together," is a powerful call to action. One moment and one meant to inspire the Indian diaspora to stay connected, engaged, and supportive of one another, but also applies to the nations to which you all contribute so much. By working closely with the public and private sector here in the UAE, we can unlock even greater success. There, the UAE-India CEPA is not only boosting bilateral trade, it's connecting high-potential markets worldwide. Together, we're shaping an economic corridor like India and the Middle East and Europe through integrated transport networks and logistic infrastructure. And a prime example of this the Bharat Mart in Jebel Ali, a 700,000 square foot complex that will enable Indian products to reach global markets. The Indian UAE Startup Initiative is also providing a vital platform for SMEs and entrepreneurs, while the UAE India SIBA Council is ensuring businesses can fully leverage the benefits of our trade deal. We really hope that Indian-owned enterprises continue to see the UAE not only as a hub for growth, but also as a key gateway to new opportunities around the world. As the past 2 days have demonstrated, there is still immense potential in this evolving economic landscape, and it's clear that energy and ambition of the Indian diaspora will be instrumental to unlock many of those potential. Before I conclude, I want to switch and give some quick update as well on what we have been doing in the UAE. We concluded 25 agreements. The first was with India, but in 3 years we concluded 25 agreements. It gives us the market access to 3 billion population around the world, and 3 billion in emerging economies that many were questioning at the beginning. But we're seeing the numbers are growing with those nations. The beauty about the CEPAs that we're going against what is happening now globally with this nationalism, protectionism, many of the tariffs that has been applied, politicizing those actions against each other. But here in the UAE, we're not politicizing businesses, we're not politicizing the economy. The economy, business people are the one who is driving our international engagements, and we're going to continue ensuring that the businesses and the companies are having an ecosystem that support them to grow and expand from the UAE. We've been heavily investing globally. India was one of the markets, but the other markets, which is a shared and common interest between us and India, is Africa, is another market, and many other locations and destinations around the world. Last year, the UAE was the largest investor in Africa. And it shows that we're moving away from politicizing our investments, and we're really genuinely investing in those markets to ensure that there is a huge positive impact in those countries and markets that we're investing in. Last year, with many visits to Africa, one of the highlights of my visits to one of the African nations was to Côte d'Ivoire. During that visit, we inaugurated a cajou processing factory, which is almost 7 hours drive from the capital. 500 women being employed in that factory. The spillover of that investment is very massive in a village which is far away from the capital. But with our investments, we're ensuring that there is a socio-economic impact of such investments, and I'm sure with many investments from and engagements and partnership with the Indiaspora, we can do much more with such approach and engagements. We've been as well very attractive to many of the global billionaires and millionaires to the UAE. Last year, we had more than 6,700 millionaires who moved to the UAE from many countries because of the ecosystem that we're having. And we don't undermine the diaspora because they're the one who can have a huge impact on the talent attraction to the country. And many of them were Indian, who've been contributing to our real estate investments, developments, the retail markets, financial market, logistics, and many other sectors. And now I want to conclude with the UAE engagements. We're doing so many visits as well with the tech nations and tech advanced exhibitions. And my last visit was 2 months ago, actually 1.5 months ago, to the US. Surprisingly, most of the tech leaders in the States are led by the Indiaspora. It shows how talented and how highly skilled the Indiaspora and how they're contributing to the futuristic technology and sector around the world. I'm sure we're going to cross each other somewhere around the world, but for those who are planning to have a footprint here in the UAE, you're welcome. We'll be more than happy to extend the full support for your expansion and presence here in the UAE and ensure your presence and businesses is very successful. I'm looking forward to being a partner in this journey with many of you, and I wish you very continued success. I'm looking forward to host you and many of you here back in UAE. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Thani. We are going to request you to stay on the stage for a second. We have a couple of special things to be gifted to you. And I'll invite M.R. Rangaswamy, the founder of the organization, to give you a token of our appreciation.